Welcome to this explainer, where we're breaking down the massive changes coming to the beautiful game. You see, FIFA has quietly rolled out 6 brand new rules for the 2026 World Cup. And honestly, they're all designed to combat the ultimate villain of modern football, time wasting. I mean, did you know that in many major matches, the ball is literally in play for less than 60 minutes out of the full 90? That is a ton of dead time. So let's just get right into it and see exactly how these new rules are going to completely shake up the sport.
The World Cup has changed, and most fans don't even know it. We've all been there, right? You're watching a tense match, and suddenly players are just standing around, hands on their hips, letting the game slowly bleed out because of endless stalling. It's totally agonizing watching that clock tick up while literally nothing is happening on the pitch. Well, whether you love them or hate them, these new rules are happening, and they are taking dead aim at this exact, incredibly frustrating scenario.
All right, let's start with rule number 1, the 5-second countdown.
Boom! 5 seconds. Referees are officially cracking down on those agonizingly slow throw-ins and goal kicks. The absolute second a player takes too long, the referee is going to start a highly visible, very public hand countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time's up. There is absolutely no more hiding behind pretending you just can't see a passing option.
So what actually happens when that clock runs out? Well, it's a harsh new reality. If a player misses that 5-second window on a throw-in, possession immediately switches to the other team. It's an instant turnover. And get this, it's even crazier for goal kicks. If a goal kick is delayed, the opposition gets a corner kick. No joke. This builds right on top of the existing 8-second rule for goalkeepers holding the ball, extending that same frantic urgency straight to the sidelines. In theory, this should speed up the game a ton, but let's be real here. Players are probably going to find incredibly creative new ways to waste time that don't involve restarts. Still, it's a huge step forward.
Moving right along, let's take a look at rule number 2, quick exits. This one shifts the focus to arguably one of the most universally frustrating tactics in football history. Players slowly, dramatically walking off the pitch during late-game substitutions. Now, 10 seconds, that is all you get. The absolute second that substitution board goes up, the clock starts. And there is a massive shift in how they're enforcing this, absolutely zero exceptions.
If you don't make it off the grass in 10 seconds, the penalty is absolutely brutal. The player coming on has to wait, and your team is forced to play with 10 men for 1 full minute. We've all seen the old routine, right? A player is slowly tying his boot, suddenly clutching his hamstring, acting super interested in the corner flag, high-fiving literally every single teammate on the way to the touchline. Well, not anymore. Pulling that little routine now actively punishes your own squad for 60 straight seconds.
Okay, let's move on to rule number 3, the fake injury tax. Speaking of suddenly clutching hamstrings, this rule directly calls out those tactical fake injuries that players use to deliberately break an opponent's momentum when they're under heavy pressure. So here's the new tax. If a player goes down and receives medical attention from the physio on the pitch, they are forced to leave the game for 1 full minute. It is completely your choice. If you genuinely want the physio to come out and treat you, you are coming off the field for 60 seconds. This is specifically designed to stop players from taking a little tactical break for their team.
Now, we do need to clarify one major exception to this rule. Goalkeepers are completely exempt from the 1-minute tax. Why? Well, because removing a goalkeeper for a minute is totally unworkable for the basic structure of the game. You really can't just have an outfield player throw on the gloves for 60 seconds while your main keeper sits on the sideline. So, unfortunately, the fake injury problem for goalkeepers, yeah, that's mostly going to remain a reality.
Let's transition away from the countdowns and the sidelines for a sec and dive into the new systemic and technological changes. Rule number 4 is all about upgrading the referees.
And this starts with everyone's absolute favorite topic, VAR. VAR now officially has way more power, expanding into areas that used to be completely off limits. Let's just rapid fire through these expanded abilities. First, while VAR used to only check straight red cards, second yellow cards are finally included in the review process. Second, VAR can also check corner kick decisions, but, and this is key, only if the review can be done super quickly without delaying the restart. We definitely don't want to add more waiting around. And finally, VAR can now step in to correct cases of mistaken identity. So if the wrong player was accidentally carded in a totally chaotic moment, it gets fixed immediately.
All right, let's move to rule number 5 and see how this builds on the technology front. It's not just the cameras up in the sky anymore. We're talking about new hardware right down on the pitch, referee body cams.
Now, to be totally clear, referees aren't going to be showing up to the World Cup with their personal GoPros strapped to their chests. These are official cameras provided and strictly controlled by the competition. And the footage really has two main purposes. First, it's going to be heavily used behind the scenes for training future referees, giving them real on-the-ground scenarios to study. Second, and this is the really cool part, it offers the potential to give fans a completely new perspective on the broadcast. Getting a literal referee's eye view of a controversial penalty decision and seeing the exact angle the refs saw in real time, that is going to be incredibly interesting to watch unfold.
Finally, we arrive at rule number 6, fixing the red card.
This introduces a highly anticipated change regarding DOGSO, which, if you aren't familiar, stands for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Usually, when a player fouls an opponent who is totally clear through on goal, boom, automatic red card. But picture this scenario. The attacker is clear through, gets hacked down from behind, but somehow still manages to stumble forward and put the ball in the back of the net. The referee played the advantage. Now, under the old rule, even though the goal was scored, the offending player would still be given a yellow card just for the attempt. Under the new rule, if advantage is played and a goal is scored, there is literally no card given for the DOGSO offense. Why? Because the goal-scoring opportunity wasn't actually denied. It literally resulted in a goal. Now, sure, some reckless fouls might still earn a yellow just for the challenge itself, but the goal fundamentally cancels the DOGSO card. It makes total sense. Honestly, it's a wonderfully logical change that somehow took like 40 years to figure out.
So, let's pull all of this together. More football, less wasting time. 6 new rules, from 5-second throw-in countdowns to 10-second substitution exits, fake injury taxes, expanded VAR, body cameras, and fixed red card logic. The overall takeaway here is super simple. These changes are a direct, highly coordinated attack on time wasting. The goal is more actual football and far less standing around.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question. Will these rules actually work? Will this finally speed up the game and put an end to the dark arts of stalling? Or will the world's smartest players just find incredibly creative new ways to bend the rules before the World Cup even kicks off? The core game hasn't changed, but man, the boundaries around it certainly have. You're definitely going to want to keep an eye on these changes because they are going to fundamentally alter the rhythm of the matches we love. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.